Hello everyone, DonellHD here. Today I'm going to show you how to set up the Wiimote for Teknoparrot Lightgun games on LaunchBox. The requirements for this tutorial are 1 Mayflash Dolphin bar and 1 Wiimote. Now I'm not going to go through the whole process of telling you how to install the Wii bar because it's pretty self-explanatory and it's plug and play. But once you have plugged it in, press the sync button on the Dolphin bar and press the sync button on the Wiimote. Both items will blink, but once the Wiimote turns to a solid color, you're good to go. The bar will blink for a little bit longer and then eventually turn solid as well. Now we can continue with the rest of the tutorial. As per usual, I have my arcade folder here, and inside that folder, I have my emulators folder, my LaunchBox folder, and the ROMs folder where we're going to be keeping our ROMs. Now I'm going to go into my emulators folder, Teknoparrot, and the Teknoparrot EXE here. Alright, now that I have Teknoparrot open, as you can see, I've added 3 games. If you need to know how to install Teknoparrot, refer to my Teknoparrot tutorial in the description below. My first game highlight is Aliens Armageddon, and I'm going to go here to my game settings, and I've already added my game by clicking on this blue line at the top here. Make sure that your general input API is set to raw input, and I disabled my cursor for this particular game. I want it full screen, so I uncheck this window to make it full screen. Now I'm going to hit save settings. Now I'm going to go ahead to controller setup. Now I'm going to click the drop down arrow here for player 1 Lightgun. As you can see, my Mayflash Dolphin bar is installed and it has a number beside the name. I found that if you unplug the Mayflash bar from the USB port you started with and reinsert it, this number changes, making your configuration null and void, and you have to configure all your games again. So be sure to keep it in the USB port you plan to use. So I'm going to click Mayflash Dolphin bar, and now it is selected. I have my Wiimote activated, so I'm going to go here to P1 trigger, and I'm going to press the trigger key on my Wiimote. Now I'm going to set my grenades to the down button on the Wiimote, and I'm going to set the reload button to the A button on the Wiimote. I'm going to configure the rest of the necessary buttons to my keyboard. For coin, I'm going to press the 5 key. For player 1 start, I'm going to press the 1 key. Now I'm going to click save settings. Now I'm going to configure my next game, Jurassic Park. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to go to controller setup. Once again, I'm going to press my P1 Lightgun drop down arrow here. Select my Mayflash Dolphin bar. Configure the trigger. And the grenades. Now the start. And the coin. I'm going to save once again. And the final game, Terminator Salvation. Controller setup. Drop down arrow. Mayflash. Trigger. Grenades. Reload. Coin. Start. Now I'm going to click save. Now you're pretty much done here unless you're configuring these in LaunchBox, so I'm going to show you how to do that now. Okay, now that we're here in LaunchBox, we're going to go up here to the top left hand corner here. I'm going to go to Tools, Manage, Emulators. As you can see, I have a few emulators already up here, but I'm going to click Add. The emulator name is Teknoparrot. Now I'm going to set the path. My path is on the desktop, arcade, emulators, Teknoparrot, and the Teknoparrot UI EXE here. Under default line parameters, I left the command line in the description below that you need to paste here. So I'm going to paste that here. And then also make sure that you check off the remove file extension and folder path. So that's checked. Now I'm going to go to associated platforms. And I'm going to create a platform here because Teknoparrot isn't a platform inside of LaunchBox. So I'm going to create it by typing it here. And I'm going to set it as my default emulator. Now I'm going to go to the running script area. And I left the script in the description below that if you require it, it allows you to escape out of the emulator by pressing the escape key. I'm going to paste that here. And now I'm going to click OK. And then close. Now it's time to add our games. Remember that you drag the XML file from the game profile folders in the emulators folder. So I'm going to go ahead to Emulators, Teknoparrot, Game Profiles folder. Select the games that you've added inside of Teknoparrot so it will work inside of LaunchBox. So I'm going to grab Aliens Armageddon here, Jurassic Park, and Terminator. Now I'm going to simply drag these into LaunchBox like so. What type of game files are importing? Select ROM files. What platform are you importing games for? Type Teknoparrot here. Scrape as Arcade. Next. Choose the emulator. Make sure Teknoparrot is selected. Next. Use the files in their current location. Next. 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 Make sure that your games are spelled correctly and then click Finish. Now it's time to test out our games. Alright, I have no issues here with Aliens Armageddon. Jurassic Park Arcade works okay. And here's Terminator Salvation. Thank you everyone for watching. If this video helped out at all, show your support by dropping a like, commenting, and subscribing to the channel. Here are a few more of my light gun tutorials. Just click on them to watch. As always, I'm DonellHD, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.